And you know what? We're gonna audible because it's going a little longer, and I want to bring our guy in because I know he has some words on this topic and our overall coaches. Man, our guy Alxy Stevens. What up, Alex?
What's going on?
Welcome.
How y'all doing?
Doing well.
I feel like I ain't talked to y'all in a minute.
It's been a while.
Right? we're doing as good as we can right now. But look, you heard what we were talking about, the lack of adjustments from Jack Del Rio. You know what the pundits have been saying. You know what the fans have been saying. What are your thoughts, man? Like, is it – I know last year was over, but is it fixable?
I don't think so, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Jack Del Rio, I'm not a big fan of Jack Del Rio. I just think, and I think I told y'all this last year or something. I just think he's very old school, which I just don't think it works anymore. You know what I'm saying? He's very plain and simple. If you watch, I hate to say this, look at the Cowboys. Look at Michael Parsons. He's lining up to the left, to the right, to the middle. I mean, the man probably, you can put him at linebacker. You probably put him at safety and he'll probably do good. You know, I mean, just the game that just happened. What was it? Was it the Raiders versus Green Bay? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, look at how you said Crosby.
Yes.
I saw him one play, he was on the left side, then the other play, he was on the right. You know, they find weaknesses on other teams. We don't really do that. I mean, it's pretty sad. It's pretty sad that we got 4 first-round guys, and you only and knowing the Bears, right? The Bears' offensive line is just straight terrible. I mean, they're worse than our offensive line. I mean, you would think, and you only sacked them 3 times. I don't know, man. I mean, I mean, don't get me wrong. Some of it you can blame on the players. You know, all right. For example, all right, we're going to corner. Y'all remember we got that guy from the Bengals, Jackson?
Mm-hmm. Last year,
he was a man corner, right? Mm-hmm. We got rid of him because he couldn't play zone very well.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So then we draft a guy, Emmanuel Forbes, which I'm a big fan of. He's a good zone corner. And all we did in the Bears game, I mean, mostly was play man.
Yes.
And then Jack Del Rio, whoever put him on the bench, right? Which I understand he was getting burnt. Yeah. But St. Juice was getting burnt. Our veteran corner, Kendall Fuller, was getting burnt.
Yeah.
Right.
So they need to get on the bench too. That's coaching, man. I'm sorry. That right there is just coaching. It's just ridiculous. I mean, I think Jack Del Rio should go first. I mean, the reason why, I mean, these linebackers, I mean, Barton, I think that's his name, right? Mm-hmm. He's terrible. I mean, he can't cover worth nothing. And you got this guy, what is it? Malik, is it Malik Hudson? You got him.
Khalid Hudson.
Khalid. I'm sorry, Khalid. This dude, every time he comes in, he makes some noise, and they still third string, fourth, like they don't even put him in. I just think it's bad coaching all around. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, we got so much talent that we should not have lost to the Bears. I mean, there's no question. I mean, I can understand we losing to 3 points,
right?
But we lost to 20 points.
Yeah,
like come on, man. I'm sorry, man. I think it's coaching. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think it's coaching.
I can't argue against that, especially when you talk about lack of creativity. Like you said, you look at some of these elite teams, and they take their best player and say, okay, where can we exploit them? I'm going to move them around. And what do? You have Sweat up top, Payne, Allen, Chase. Now next down, Sweat. It's the same. There's no mix and match.
Plain and simple.
When they talk about Jack Del Rio, he actually he blitzes one of the least amount of the defensive coordinators. And, only our offensive line is the one who can't block 5-on-4. But we think that just rushing 4 guys is going to be enough. And one of the things that they've talked about, Sam Howell has the biggest struggles with is when the defense is coming. They don't know which 4 are coming. Is it all 4 defensive linemen? Are there linebackers? Who's dropping back? And like you said, we have a lack of creativity on our defense line. We just say, go for it.
Yeah. Right. I mean, with I mean, I hate to say this. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer on Chase. I'm not gonna lie. I just think. I hate to say this. I'm a big Chase fan. I mean, y'all know how I am. I mean, y'all are Chase fans too. But I really do feel like he's just a big name and overrated a little bit. I mean, yeah, I do feel like people are excited about his 11 pressures. I mean, he I'm not saying that he's terrible now, but it's just if you really watch him, he's only got 2 moves. I mean, he bull rushes and he tries to beat a guy off with speed.
Yeah.
I mean, if you watch Michael Parsons, you watch Crosby, you watch TJ Watt. Oh, all right, go get some. If you watch TJ Watt and all them guys, I mean, they're spinning. They're, I mean, they're so aggressive. I mean, it's crazy, and then Sweat. He shows up every once in a blue moon. Don't get me wrong, I love Sweat, but I wish he was like that every game. I mean, what was the game that we won? It wasn't the Cardinals when he showed up? The first game, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The second game, where was Sweat? The third game, where was Sweat? Like, I don't even think we even touched Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I mean, that's crazy. Like, how are we not? I mean, I understand their offensive line is good, but we supposed to be this dominant force. I mean, look at I ain't gonna lie to you. I just think we're big name. I mean, we just don't show up when it needs to. I mean, when we played the Bears, we supposed to be this run stopping defense, and the running back. I don't wish no injuries, but when the dude before he got injured, the one that Justin Fields threw a bad pass to him and his leg got
Herbert,
I don't even know that running back's name, but he was killing us all game.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, so let me ask you this, because the big talk this offseason was Chase Montez. Who are you going to sign? Can you keep both? Part of me is like, is exactly what you're saying is, do we need to be throwing $20 million at either one of these guys? Are we at a point where we need to say, this isn't working? You may be a good player, but this isn't working collectively. And why put money into that when you could put money into different resources? I don't know.
Well, I would say before you do get rid of them, and it kind of sucks because we still got Jack Del Rio. But if Jack Del Rio did go, let's just say he got fired tomorrow. We put another defense coordinator in there, like someone that actually attacks and actually blitzes more, and put Chase Young on the left, the right, even Sweat, switch them around. I think these guys might even, earn the money. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Mm-hmm. But we have Jack Del Rio. So at the end of the day, these guys are going to be plain and simple. Everybody figures them out. You watch tape on them. I'm pretty sure one of the coaches on the other team is like, all right, well, we know Chase is going to be right here. He's always going to stay right here. He ain't never going to move. You know what I'm saying? So I really, like I said, I think it's the combination of both, but more on coaching. I'm sorry. I mean, I think it is. I mean, there was one game where Chase dropped back into coverage.
Yeah, we don't need that.
Ryan Kerrigan used to do that, and I'm like, what are y'all doing? It should be blitzing the whole time. I'm like, that's bad defense court. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, I think the issue. Well, real quick, I think one of the main issues with Chase is kind of like what you're saying is that we all still revere him as that number 1 draft pick, that great defensive end from Ohio State, and I think he thinks that too in his head. And these other teams don't give him that respect. You know what I mean? They know he's coming back off the injury. And then, like you said, you got the rest of these guys on this D-line. And the rest of the league, when they talk to us, when other fans talk to us, they sit there and say, man, how are you guys not doing this with those front four? Those front four, man, you built it up kind of like San Francisco did in the draft. Built it up, got those guys. And it's like, what are they doing? But I think you hit the nail on the head where it's just it's plain. It's plain Jane. It's 4-man rushing. Get past us. Our linebackers aren't going to do nothing to you. And we have a weak secondary who, and I agree that Forbes should have got pushed, but then again, all of them potentially should have got pushed out. But at the same time, it's like, if your D line isn't getting any pressure, if your linebackers aren't threatening anybody, then how else are your secondary going to stop anybody? Because they're always getting passes thrown to them and things like that. Like, we're not disrupting their offensive flow at all, as opposed to our offense where Sam is running for his life.
Right. I mean, I agree with you, Sean, when you what you were just saying. What was it, like 20 minutes ago, where you were saying that you want the coach to throw things to get hype and stuff like. I mean, the man said coming back in the interview. I think when second half started, she was like, what did you tell your players? He said, I just let them talk about it. Ron, like, are you like? I went to the training camp. This year, and I think Sean, I showed you some pictures. I met Ron. I shook his hand. I ain't gonna lie. I think he's a great guy. But when it comes to coaching, personal, I think he's great. When it comes to business coaching, he needs to go. I've been off the boat, 2-3 years ago. Riverboat.
Sure.
I've been off that boat. So I mean, but I'm glad I met him and everything. But I'm sorry, man. That type of guy. I mean, he's just. I mean, if you watch him on the sideline when we're down from the Bears, I mean, he just does this right here, and he's like this.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, man. Are you mad? Like, I don't know, man. I think it's coaching.
One of my concerns, though, is because I agree with just everything you're saying. But if you fire Jack Del Rio, who on this staff is going to take over? They have nobody with previous coordinator experience. They've got a bunch of no names along at position coaches. So who do we turn to?
I don't know. To be honest with you, this is what I'm hoping. I don't know if it's going to happen. We'll have to see when the season goes forward. But I'm hoping Jack and Ron, these new owners, they cut these guys, and Eric Bieniemy moves on up as head coach. And I hope Eric Bieniemy finds his defensive, coordinator, and Eric Bieniemy does what Jay Gruden did. Remember, Jay Gruden was the head coach and he called plays. He was the offensive coordinator too.
Yes.
I think Eric Bieniemy, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think he's playing. I mean, he's doing great with Sam. Yes, Sam has his ups and downs. He holds onto the ball a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But I knew Sam. I don't know me. I was always a fan with him in North Carolina. I just thought knew I just knew this dude was gonna be something, and he's showing it. I mean, he really is. I mean, I think he's sixth on the board of passing yards. I think, right? I think he's. I mean, he's just showing up, even with this terrible offensive line we have. Now, some of that is on him. So, I mean, he is the sack leader, right? I think he's got the most. He's gotten sacked the most in a quarterback. Yeah, that's some of him holding the ball, and that is our offensive line. But I mean, this is what Ron created. I mean, if you really think about it, I mean, remember we had Morgan Moses, we had Trent Williams, I know Trent Williams with the head situation, but we had Brandon Sheriff.
Yep.
We got rid of all these guys. All right. Remember we had Eric Flowers?
Yeah.
What happened? And I think the only guy that he drafted in the second or third round was what Cosme.
Yeah.
That's it. Everybody else, it ain't no first or second. It's always fourth or sixth or seventh round or undrafted.
Cheap free agent signings like Andrew Norwell, who's washed up, and Trey Turner, who ends up every season on the injured reserve, but he's our starting right guard last year.
And people want to blame Heineke from last year. It's not Heineke, man. It won't Heineke, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. Some things Heineke was, this and that. But I'm telling you, I feel like if we had a good offensive line with Heineke, I think we could have won about 8, 9, 10 games. I'm sorry. I mean, I think Heineke was just that type of guy where he wanted to, if he felt more comfortable. That's what I'm scared of with Sam. I love Sam. I just hope he doesn't. The amount of hits that he takes, I just hope he doesn't lose his confidence.
Right.
I mean, seriously, a lot of quarterbacks get rattled. It's only going to take him one good hit before he's rattled, and then he starts throwing picks like real bad, and then he's just lost in the sauce. Like that's what. But the dude, I'm telling you, he's an assassin. Like it doesn't faze him. But how long is that going to last when you got a terrible offensive line?
Look what happened to Derek Carr. I think he got sacked 72 times his rookie year. Right now, Sam has gotten sacked 29 times. He's on pace to get sacked over 100.
100. Yeah.
Those are the trends that we're setting. So something's got to change between player and scheme, like they did against the Eagles, where they got the ball out of his hand quickly. You know, there's gonna have to be some adjustments because he can't keep going through this. And Sam also he's got to learn how to slide. I love his competitives. He lowers his shoulder into someone, but that extra 2 yards is not needed when you get body slammed like he did in the Bills game.
I mean that's how bad he wants it. Like he wants to win so bad, and I love that from him because Heineke was like that. You love that type of player in him. I mean he's got the biggest confidence in the world. I mean the man he's ready to win. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, so absolutely. And I think we have to ask. I think we have to ask this. We were going to ask Nathan about this, but we have to address this. Sam, we love what we've seen from him, but at the end of the day, I think the majority, if not all the games, we've been coming from behind. And this is great for him, but what does this say about us if these slow starts? We talked about it with Nathan before on offense and on defense. We love what we're seeing from Sam, yes, but sometimes Sam is holding the ball too long because he's trying to do too much, because he wants to get it for us. He wants to win. He wants to do all those things. It's what we love about Taylor. He's going to try. He's going to give us his best shot, and sometimes those were interceptions. I like that Sam is not turning the ball over except for that Buffalo game where he had 4 interceptions. But is this stunning his growth, consistently playing from behind?
I don't know, man. Possibly. I ain't gonna lie to you. If I think a lot of it is Eric Bieniemy. The reason why he is where he is. I mean, do you really think Sam Howell would be what he is now if we had Scott Turner?
Nope.
Probably not.
Not at all.
Did you hear that, Sean? Ab, you listening?
Not at all.
I know you're listening. I said probably
it wasn't loud enough.
I said probably not.
That's what I'm saying. Eric Bieniemy, I'm not gonna lie, we got something there, and I just really hope we don't lose it, because if you really think about it, he came to us to show the NFL, you know, him like, hey, I was something in KC. It won't just all Andy Reid, you know.
Right.
I did something with Pat Mahomes also. So he's really trying to show that, like, hey, we got this young guy, rookie, you might as well say. Let me show y'all what he can do, and look what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's a lot of Eric Bieniemy on top of that. So I mean, I just really hope we don't lose him, man, because I mean, if let's just say we do keep winning, or you know what I mean, let's just say we do. Do you think the ownership is going to keep Ron because we're winning? So he might just keep Ron, and then that means Ron might have to get another offensive coordinator, because these teams that are losing, they're going to want Eric Bieniemy as a head coach.
Right.
So that's
I want to address one thing because I wanted to say to Nathan about the slow start. So we also got to remember is, you know, these teams play these games knowing that it's going to be 4 quarters. And the first quarter can be a lot of scripted plays out there where they're testing to see what plays are going to work, what defenses are they going to run, so that they know later on how to set that up for the next one. And I do agree with, so that can be some of where the slow starts come, is they already know what they're doing to start with, and then they make their adjustments. But I agree with you where Bieniemy's made a huge difference in this team, and just the attitude on the sidelines, the confidence, the inspiration.
Right.
You know, he is the rah-rah guy. I mean, and they even say, you know, people were concerned at training camp that he was too much in their face. He was too hard.
Right.
But we only see one side. We don't see what happens in the building. We don't see what happens during the film study when they're correcting that stuff. And he's talking to them and talking these players up, you know, as well. So it's just one side of the story to it. So I agree with you where he's been a huge addition to this. I've got a question for all of y'all. Go ahead, and then I got a question for you.
Okay, my bad. Yeah, well, I was going back to the Eric Bieniemy when you said they were saying something about in training camp he's a little too rough. Man, the man came here. He even said it in an interview when they were talking to him. He was saying, "Listen, they brought me here to, you know, I have a job to do." And he was like, "It's nothing personal. You know, these guys know I love them. If I might be a little harsh on them, but at the end of the day, we're trying to get a job done. And if I don't do my job, then I'm gonna get fired." Like, I mean, let's be honest. These guys, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a job. These guys making millions of dollars. These players, y'all better buckle up. I want someone to go to war with. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. And, go ahead, Sean.
I was gonna say that's my thing. Hold up, this man's coming here from back-to-back, or not back-to-back, but 2 Super Bowl championships. He just finished celebrating a Super Bowl, and you got the audacity. I want to know who the players are personally, because I bet those players might be on the secondary. Not going to name names, but I got a problem with that, because look, we're from old school. We know about those fiery coaches and things like that. And
right.
Yes, I don't agree with the Bobby Knight style where he's hitting kids or whatever, but yeah, throwing a chair at the wall and just getting those guys amped up. Yes, we need that. Why is it that when you're won 4 straight games, you're doing that, Ron, and you're getting those guys, and now you got EB in here, and you're in the media talking about, oh, well, they're coming to me, and I said, just talk to him. No, you're not their parent. Go out there and tell them, Oh, you have a problem with them yelling at you? Okay, give back the money that the team gave you, and you can go back on your way. Because
Right.
it's the NFL. If you can't
Right.
get yelled at, goodbye.
That's right. That's right. And I ain't gonna lie, and that's the difference between Eric Bieniemy, a championship level with Ron. I hate to say it, man. Let's be honest. Will Ron be what Ron is today if he didn't have Cam Newton? I mean, I think Cam made Ron. I mean, let's be honest, man. I hate to say that, but
that 1 year, we're at 15-1.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really look at his record, I think he just got 100 wins or something like that. But I think how many winning seasons? He's only had 3. Come on. I ain't gonna lie to you. You ready for this? I hate to say this, but I think Jay Gruden would have done better with this team.
Maybe.
I ain't gonna lie to you.
Maybe offensively, yes. Or
coaching,
yeah,
coaching, just a little bit. Coaching,
control over the players. That's the only problem. You're
right.
Right,
But
so
I just
here's a scenario for you.
Go ahead.
All right. And Ab, I know you're listening, so I want you to think about this. I'm going to preface this by saying I think Sam Howell is shown a lot this year, and he is probably the best quarterback we've had in Washington since Brad Johnson. All right, now it's not a high
Mark
bar.
Rippon. Go farther back.
Farther back, even more. It's not the highest of bar, but he shows a whole lot of potential. But to your point is, what do you think the owners are going to do? I don't think Ron's going to make it through after the season. I think they're going to come in here and they're going to fire. I think they're going to fire everybody and really get a chance to assess this. And if you know anything about Josh Harris, when it comes to what he did in Philly for the Sixers, he's an analytics guy. He's a new school type person. So I think he's going to bring in some type of general manager who wants to run the league, run his team the way the league is right now, which is offensive based. Okay. Mm-hmm. Say you bring in someone other than Eric Bieniemy to be the head coach. Mm-hmm. Do you think that coach, like say like a Ben Johnson, the guy from the Lions, he's the hottest name out right now. Mm-hmm. If you have a top 10 pick, are you telling this coach, we have our quarterback in place? Or are you saying you have a top 10 pick, GM, new coach, the roster is yours. You go out there and get whoever you want. Sam Howell has shown us some things, but if we get value out there on the trade market and we can draft someone, not going to be a Caleb Williams, not going to be a Drake May, but a first-round pick that you like, the team's yours. How would you all feel about that? Before you answer that, let me remind you, Sam Howell next year is going into his 3rd year of a 4-year contract. You only have him for 2 more seasons. You draft a rookie quarterback in the first round, you have 5 years at a cheap deal.
Right.
How would you all feel about this?
Stop trying to get rid of my quarterbacks, Will. Sam's here. All right. Go ahead, Alex. Tell him.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, man, I think it all depends on how Sam Howell's season is going to turn out. But I would keep him and I would build around Sam. I'm not going to lie to you. I think we got all the weapons. We do need a tight end. I do like Logan Thomas, but Logan Thomas is not really the best blocker. Mm-hmm. But he's pretty good at catching the ball and stuff like that. But with Terry, Jahan, and Curtis, I just feel like he's going to keep on improving. But if it was me, I would tell the guy you talking about top 10 pick offensive line.
Probably, absolutely.
Come on, man. And then it boils down to the trade deadline. What are you going to do with Chase? What are you going to do with Sweat? There was another name I told y'all last year, Antonio Gibson. Yeah. I hate to say it, man. You're not signing him. He's on his last year. You're not. He fumbled too much. I love Antonio Gibson. He just fumbles too much. He's more of a wide receiver than a running back. So I mean, yeah, I think it's time to. If we keep losing, I think it's time to get rid of these guys and get some picks and build around Sam. If he keeps growing, you know what I'm saying? If you see that level of growth, because that's what we've seen it from week 1 all the way to what are we now? Week 6.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, I think he's continuing growing. You know what I mean? You remember the Bills game. I'm not too mad about him throwing 4 picks. The man was trying to bring us back. Yeah, he made a lot of mistakes, but then the Eagles game was really to show like, hey, do we have something, or did he lose his confidence? And the man showed up in the Eagles game. We should have won that game, by the way. I was so upset with that game. They cheated Terry, but yeah, I mean, he just grew right. I mean, he showed that he had a bad game and then he bounced back. A lot of guys can't do that,
Right.
A lot of rookies, anyways, at that. So
a lot of pros can't do that.
Right.
Right. Sean, you're saying you have to Sam Howell
keep
is the
him.
guy.
You keep him, and you look. Let's be honest. Like what Alex is saying, he's still showing these signs that he is a solid quarterback. With all of the problems that we're talking about, with some of the things with the O-line, some of the wide receivers maybe dropping balls, the lack of a run game. Sam is carrying the team on his back and doing that. We're a couple position groups away from seriously being a contender. I mean, if we get an O-line, if we can somehow find out what a linebacker is and get a linebacker and just get one or two more pieces in that secondary to add some veteran leadership, what are we talking about right now? You know what I mean? Like, because just as quickly as we could have been 0-5 in these, losing those first two potentially, we should have beat Philly. We should have beat the Bears. You know what I mean? And even if you really go back and look at the tape of that Bills game, there are points in that Bills game where if we score a touchdown, that momentum changes because Buffalo was not destroying us. I know what the final score says, but when it was 16-0, when all they could do is kick field goals against our defense, if Brian Robinson doesn't fumble the ball in the red zone, if we don't throw the interception in the end zone, I mean, just those few little things could have changed everything. In my opinion, I say as long as you have this guy, he's proven what you can do, which is more than most quarterbacks that we've had in the last 4 or 5 years since Kirk Cousins. Let's build around this guy. Give him some help on that line. Give him, you know what I mean? Like you said, Gibson's out. All right, Brian, let everybody know Brian Robinson is your guy. So you give him a fullback, Alex Arma. You give him that line. You get us to establish the run, and you work with the quarterback. Because if we start to do this, and I love it, new coach, I know he's got to get his QB, but if we continue to do this, that's what the writing on the wall is for Washington. Yeah. Oh, if you come here, you can play quarterback, but eventually the new coach or somebody's going to just take you out and you're going to keep going. We don't give guys an opportunity. Now, some of those guys don't stay healthy enough to get an opportunity, but we finally have a young guy that has not been tampered by the NFL. He's got ice in his veins. Show him that you think he's got it. Show him that you believe in him and watch what it'll do.
It's also an easier path to improving your team if like Alex, like you said, if you got a top 10 pick, if you're drafting one of the top left tackles, because you already got the quarterback in place. I just think it could potentially bring back shades of 2013 when they fired Mike Shanahan. They were interviewing Jay Gruden and Mike Zimmer from the Bengals. Those were like the two guys they kept going at. And Jay Gruden was picked because Dan Snyder said, I want you to work with Robert Griffin. I got this guy in place. I'm picking you to find out if he's got something. And Mike Zimmer was the better head coach. Jay Gruden's a better offensive schemer. Right. And so we didn't get the best guy because we stuck with our quarterback. And that's what had me thinking about that. But I do think if Bieniemy gets promoted at the end of the year in January to be head coach, I think it's a no-brainer. I mean, he has the ability to pick his quarterback, but I think he wouldn't take the job if he didn't have one of two things. He feels confident in Sam Howell to say, yep, I'm riding with this guy. Or he knows I have the ability to go get whoever I want. Like, he's not going to put himself in a bad situation. I haven't read what this comment says.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's a question mark. We really don't know because it's week 6. It's coming up to week 6. But going back to what you were saying, if we do keep losing games and Sam is just, I'm not gonna say god awful, but he's not, right. He's so, and we got the top 5 pick or somewhere around there. then that's something that you have to be like, you have to look at that film on Sam again, see what games he's lost, look at fourth quarter moments. Did he bring us back? Did he not? And then with the guy Williams, I think he's the biggest guy quarterback out of. I mean, he's the biggest thing coming out of, right. So yeah, that's something that you would lean on to quarterback. Your first pick with the new coach and all that. But I mean, how it looks now, a lot of it's not Sam. The reason why we're losing this game,
100% not. He's not even close to being the problem.
No, he's not, because for years it's always been, quarterback. You know what I'm saying? But now it's like we got our guy, but now you're starting to see pieces like, well, it ain't the quarterback's fault now. So what else is it? You know what I mean?
Right. And look, I'd be okay with this, saying draft a new quarterback and have them compete. Yeah, I mean, if we're a top 5 pick, I mean, let's just get another North Carolina quarterback and just start getting that Carolina blue, baby. I like that. Drake may start, Sam back up, whatever, baby. I love that.
Well, I'm gonna tell you that when it comes to defense, the main guy that I would sign, because I think Sweat is on his final year, Chase is on his final year, right? Ain't these guys on their final year? I think the main guy moving forward that we should sign to be our main defensive guy is Cameron Curl.
Yeah.
I would sign Cameron Curl in a heartbeat. He should be our captain. He should be our leader. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, he's always the leading tackler. I mean, if you watch, he has to cover and play that, and then he comes up and plays linebacker. It's pretty sad that he's really our best linebacker. I mean, I'm starting to love Jamin Davis's growth. But he's not what we thought he was going to be. He's just kind of like an average linebacker. I mean, he can't really play coverage that very well. That's why they take him out on third downs, and then we have 3 safeties on third downs. If you notice that, Butler's up top, and then Forrest, and then Cameron Curl is like, up playing up like linebacker. But yeah, I mean, that's what I would do out of signing those guys. Now, Chase, I don't know, but I ain't gonna lie to you. I mean, it's about to be week 6. When's the trade deadline? Week 9?
I'm not sure.
I think week 8, week 9. They got to do something with Chase. I mean,
Ab is right here. Like, we get our hopes up. If like, you're not wrong in your thinking, but it's also, we got to know who is our pulling the trigger. And Ron is way too hesitant to do that type of stuff.
Oh no.
Right. Gibson's not returning, and it's like, but are they going to get value for him right now? No.
No. That's it.
Yep.
Now look, now I'm gonna make an audible because I am still at work, so we do got to kind of put a bow on this thing, and we're gonna go into we got a game coming up, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna keep you on here, Alex. Week 6 coming up. Atlanta plays Washington. Desmond Ridder versus Sam Howell. We know it. Maybe Sam Heineke sighting in this ball game. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting. I'm just going to pull it out right now. I
don't have them.
You don't have them? It's all good. It's all good. I'm calling the audible on this. We do something on this show called Keys to Victory, where we talk about what we think is going to get us the W this coming week. Honestly, we almost boycotted this segment after last week, but we are back, and we are going to give out our keys to victory. Alex, we're going to go around once and then go around again. What is your first key to victory against the Atlanta Falcons this week?
Getting after Ridder. I would say that D-line has to get after Ridder. Turnovers, really, getting some turnovers on them. That's what I believe. I think offense will be fine versus Atlanta's defense, but I would say defense is getting after Ridder because Ridder had a bad game. He had a bad game, not the previous one, but what was it before? Who did he just play? He just played
Texans.
He had a good game in Texans, right? But I'm talking about before that game, he was Detroit. Terrible.
I think it was Detroit.
Yeah, it was one of them. Yeah, he was playing terrible, man. If we can get after him, we'll definitely win the game. I really do feel like defense needs to step up, and turn this thing around. You know what I mean? That's what I do believe.
Mm-hmm. Well, what you think?
Yeah, I'm with Alex there about it's the defense. If Chase, if you're going to say the words Jack's not the problem, Well, here's your game. You got your butts whooped on Thursday night national television. You all need to show up on Sunday, and you need to take back this team and be the who you think you are. You need to show us. And I think the defense is going to be pissed off. And I think like that defensive line is going to make impacts.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm going to the other side of the ball. Last week, Brian Robinson had 6 carries for 10 yards. And as we saw, we were so far in the game that we had 55 straight passes. This week, we need to just help our defense out. We need to run the ball and keep our offense on the field, chew the clock. I want to see a play like when Brian Robinson caught that pass at the goal line and then ran over that Falcons wide receiver and rooted to get in the touchdown. That's what I want to see. Like I want to see hard-nosed running, because when we are not down 10, down 16, early in the game, you see, look at that Philly game, Brian Robinson just digging out yards, getting 6, 7, 8 yards a carry, and that's opening up the passing game for Sam Howell. And then all of a sudden, we're putting up 30, plus points. So I want us to run the ball and early and often. So Alex, what's your last key to victory?
I agree. Well, you did say run the ball. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Well, I was saying that after the Philly game, man, I really thought we were going to be 5-2 coming back to Philly. Like I really thought the Bears, what is the Bears, the Falcons, and the Giants.
Yep.
I mean, I thought this was going to be an easy road, and we was going to come to Philly and be like, yo, we back to coming.
I predicted 3 straight victories too.
I did too, dog. I did too, man. With ease. I mean, the Bears. I mean, if somebody really betted me like, oh, I bet you $100 the Bears will win. Let's bet. Like, no question. Bears ain't beating us. Like, bro. But that really hurt me. Dog. You talking about somebody was so mad. I mean, I turned the game off in the fourth quarter. I was so pissed. But I would have to say, the running game. I would have to say that. And more, if anything, I would say the coaching, man. Get these guys hype. You know what I'm saying? It didn't look like they were ready. I know we had a short week, but the Bears had a short week too. But they looked like they wanted it more, which I understand. They are 14. What was a 14-game losing streak? So I mean, I get it, but it had to been against us. Did you know, like do y'all remember that back in 2006 or 7 or something like that? It was the Detroit Lions. They were god awful. They had Matthew Stafford, Calvin Johnson at the time. I mean, mind you, we had Clint Portis. I think we had Jason. Did we have Jason Campbell?
Probably at that time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Chris Cooley. And they had to break the losing streak versus us. And here come the Bears. It's like we have the worst luck. I don't get it, man. I really don't. And that really just crushed me. The whole time I was thinking about that when I was watching the Bears game, I said, if these dudes come back, I mean, if these dudes win this game, they're going to talk about this Lions back. But
Lions, the Rams, there was a Rams team.
The Bengals did it too.
The Bengals, yeah.
We're slump busters. That's what we are.
That's what we are.
Hold on. So the Bengals was on a losing streak and they beat us?
Yeah.
Winless. Yeah.
We're the biggest slump buster for football.
I don't know what it is, but it happens.
Yeah. So my keys, actually, I'm going to go against both of you guys and what you're saying. I don't care about the running game because I take Terry, Curtis, and Jahan over AJ, Jeff, and D. Alford. They're 3 corners. I'll take them all day, every day. I want us to attack their secondary. Jesse Bates is back there. He's a good player, but I will take our players over them every single day. And so I want us to go after these guys and be aggressive.
Oh, I like that.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I agree with that. When I was watching when we were watching the Bears game, you saw that DJ Moore got 230 yards and 3 TDs. He could have got 4 touchdowns. But you know what I was thinking? I was thinking, like, why isn't Terry doing this? Why isn't Terry getting this? Like Terry and DJ, I would say they're about the same player. Like DJ is not that much off from Terry.
No.
But the day we played him, it's like DJ looked like a whole different player. And I'm like, Terry can do that too. Why don't they feed this man this ball like they're doing, the Bears are doing? So I really do hope, man, that Eric Bieniemy feeds Terry more. And Jahan was supposed to have a breakout year. He's a little quiet, but I think they're just trying to get this offense ready. But I just really hope they feed, like you said, Will. I really do hope they do feed these wide receivers more, man, and let him have a breakout game, because Terry needs to have that breakout game, man.
Yes.
I haven't seen really a big breakout game from him yet. Like, has Terry ever got 200 some yards in a game?
No.
No, I mean, I love him. Don't get me wrong. I love Terry, but I don't think he's a team player, That's what you got to love about him. But it's just like, man, like, be Odell for a second. Just be like, give me the ball. Just give me the ball. Yeah, because I'm telling you, if Terry was like that, because he's not, and I respect it. I'm glad he's not like an Odell, Terrell Owens. But if he was like that in the Bears game, I wouldn't have been mad, because you win games with great players. Great players step up, and you know what I'm saying. But he's not that type of player. But I've seen him get hype on the sideline now. He gets hype. I just hope that I just hope he does that when we really need him. You know what I'm saying? Throw me the ball and give it to me so we can win this game. You know what I mean?
Heineke gave it to him. Heineke would feed him.
Right.
I knew it.
He didn't care. He just Terry somewhere. Go get it.
Yeah. Terry somewhere. Remember that Colts game? Y'all remember that?
That's exactly
Terry was like, give me that ball.
And 2 years ago against the Falcons, he threw that moon ball up. It just happened to land right in Terry's hand.
That was incredible. That's
Yo, my last one, honestly, we're talking about wide receivers. Well, our number one draft pick has had a rough couple of weeks. He had to deal with A.J. Brown, and A.J. Brown bodied him. Then I'm like, oh, well, he doesn't have to play a big receiver. Well, a little receiver bodied him in DJ Moore this last week. He got yanked. Obviously, they were talking to him in the media, but I need to see Forbes. Right? We've seen what happened after the Bills game with Sam Howell and how he responded. 4 turnovers 1 week, no turnovers the next week. And he had us in that game. Forbes has been notably called out and talked about. Everybody has said, hey, you were supposed to be this big guy, blah, 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 and we're seeing what happens. I want to see him take this thing personal, get pissed off, and come out there and shut down Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Bijan, whoever is out getting the pass. I want to see him come in there, and I need some turnovers. This guy had, 6 pick sixes last year in college? I want to see him getting the ball. I want to see him. If I see him going after one, he just missed that pick. Good. You're a ball hawk. You're going after it. And I want to see that. I want to see him out there leaving it all out on the field, because we talk about confidence. We talk about these guys, trying to play. This is the NFL, which stands for not for long. If you can't, every receiver can be great. You know what I mean? If they go up against the right competition. So I want to see Forbes show up and show out and be the number one draft pick. Let's go.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Sean. A lot of people are giving flag about that guy. And now, mind you, I met him at the training camp. I got the video. Did I show y'all the video? I got to show it to y'all, man. I got to send it to y'all. But he was walking into the building where all the players were going, and I nobody called his name. And I was like, oh, I know who that is, because it was the first pick. I'm like, yo, Manuel. And he walked away, and I couldn't see him. But then he came back. He came to me and my kids, man. And I said, oh man, I know you, man, and shook his hand and everything. If you really look at him, man, I think he was probably as tall as me. I'm about 6 foot. But he was skinny as a twig. He was skinny as a twig.
Are you bigger than him?
I was definitely bigger than him. But the dude, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. If you really watch him, I like him. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yes, he did play AJ, but he also, everybody keeps talking about he getting burnt. He also had some good plays on AJ Brown. Even when he got burnt and then we went into overtime, that big play that AJ did, and then Sam Howell brought us back into overtime. In overtime, I think Justin Hurts, right? Jalen Hurts threw it to Brown. what was it? I think 2 or 3 times, and Forbes knocked it down. I don't know. People didn't talk about that, but Emmanuel was so upset that, he stopped AJ Brown in overtime. If you really go back and watch that, I mean, he's a dog, man. And when it comes to DJ, man, he was right on DJ. What is it? DJ, I'm having a brain fart.
Moore.
What is it?
DJ Moore.
DJ Moore, yeah. DJ Moore, man. I mean, he was right on DJ Moore. I mean, it was hard to tackle him. I mean, DJ is slippery, and his weakness is somewhat of tackling, but man, he's right there. I mean, if people don't remember last year when Kendall Fuller was getting burnt up, do y'all remember that? He was the reason why we didn't cut him was because he was getting out rebound and he was always on the defender, but he just had bad luck. Like he was just getting out rebound. That's like Emmanuel Forbes. He's right there. It's just not going his way. But I really do think that he'll turn things around. Everybody keeps talking about Gonzalez. We should have drafted Gonzalez. I mean, that dude, look who's still in the game. I mean, I don't wish no injuries, but that dude's out for the season. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, Forbes, he might be little. Everybody thought that he wasn't going to last preseason. So, I mean, give him some time. I really do feel like we got a stud. A lot of great corners get burnt there. Darius Slade reached out to him and said that my rookie year, I got benched. So, I mean, I think we got something. I really do.
There's no reason people should be upset over him getting burnt in coverage in his 5th game in the NFL. Right. Now, I am concerned. Ab said it. I can't see another almost got it from him. I'm more concerned about his tackling and some of the effort. Some of the time when they're out there, if they're running towards him, not just a pass, but if a ball carrier is running towards him, he makes some business decisions out there. And that's a little bit of a concern for me. But I think enough film and coaching can fix that.
Right. Well, I will say this. What I have seen from him, and he's real good at, is when the offensive line comes at him and tries to block him, he moves right past them because the offensive line can't get him. And he's too fast and too small. He moves right past him and gets a tackle. So, I mean, he'll definitely improve, man. I really do feel like we got a stud, and he's very good in zone. Very good. I don't know why we don't use him more in zone. And when he played that, who was the other wide receiver? I can't think of his name. Smith for the Eagles.
Mm-hmm. Devontae Smith. Yeah.
Devontae Smith. That ball Devontae Smith caught, and Emmanuel was right on him. I mean, you can't play no better corner play than that. I mean, Devontae Smith just caught it. It should have been dropped, but I mean, it just landed when he fell on the ground. It landed right back in his hands. I mean, Emmanuel Forbes played that perfectly. So, I mean, we got something. People just need to calm down and just relax. You know what I mean?
Right.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, look, hey, before we go, let's go ahead and give our score predictions. Alec, what do you think the score is going to be, man?
Oh, man. I don't know, man. 21-24. I don't know. 21-24, I guess. we'll win by a bit. I hate to say that. I think we could blow them out, but I think it's gonna be a tight one because they got some dogs. Kyle Pitts ain't really done nothing all year, and this dude might show up against us because we always get. And they got Drake London, and I do like Ritter. I liked Ritter out in college. So he might have an off game or on game. And their defense, I think they're real good in the run stop, right? So, I'm gonna say it's gonna be a close game. I think we can win by a field goal.
Okay, I like that. Well, what you think?
24-20. Defense is gonna make a stop. They're gonna need a touchdown. We're gonna stop them.
I agree. Yeah.
I like that. I think a couple weeks ago I said against the Bills, I said something like 27-21 we'd get it done. That didn't happen. Against Philly, I said something like that. I called the Bears game. I thought we were going to lose that game. I saw something. I honestly, I'm going to go 17-16. I'm going to go a late drive late in the game where we score. I'm sorry that what I saw in the Bears is it's drenched all over me. I can't get that off. And if I want us to turn it around, but you got to do it, man. You got to play in these games. And last year we had this same type of situation. We were like 2-4, 2-3 1-4. And then we played the Colts and it was a 16-17 game. It was the one you talked about where Taylor just chucked it up there and then he caught it over Stephon Gilmore. And then, Terry got it done. So, yeah, I'm saying 17-16, close game that we get it done on field goal at the end of the game.
Hey, are we gonna be at home?
In Atlanta.
No, ATL. And,
Mm.
and real quick, if a familiar quarterback does play in this game, all bets are
It's
off.
over. It's over.
Yeah,
Taylor.
Oh, he's gonna light us up. I do believe that. I think he'll light us up. I do
Because
believe that.
he's going to test that secondary. He's not going to be scared of our secondary at all.
No, Taylor's going to have something like 250 yards and 3 touchdowns in the first half, just chucking it up there against our guys.
Hey, and I ain't even gonna be mad at him. I'm gonna cheer for him all the way. Do your thing, man. Just keep doing it. Just
good job, Terry. Good job. Bro.
Right. Should have never got rid of you. I believed in you. No, they didn't. I believed in you.
Ab says Bijan's gonna run all over us. Why y'all not talking about that?
If we lose this game, that will be the reason why we can't stop.
Bijan. He I ain't gonna lie to you. He's a dog, but the reason why I really ain't talked about him is because I just feel like our D line is that good. But you're right. We give up run plays a lot, man. So he might ball out, but it shouldn't happen. With the D line we have, it should not happen. And I really do hope. I'm gonna tell you this right now. I really do hope they Khalid Hudson, right? Yeah. Khalid Hudson and the dude that we got from Dallas practice squad or some Cox.
He didn't get promoted. He's still on the bench.
Oh my God!
Practice squad.
I was hoping we see some of him, man. But Khalid Hudson, man, Jamin Davis, Barton just needs to.
Struggling.
Just go, man. Just go, man. We should have
bargain signing that's not working.
Yeah, we should have signed what's his name? Holcomb. Ain't it Cole? No. He's a dog with Steelers.
All you do is feed Sean these North Carolina players.
That's right. He is absolutely right.
He's a dog, man. He's a dog, man. We should have kept. I mean, do you see him with the Steelers though? All jokes aside, I mean, he's knocking heads, man. But yeah, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. If we can get this linebacker play, I really hope I see some Hudson. I want to see what he can do. Bijan we might be able to stop him, but yeah, Bijan is a dog. Yeah.
The reason why I was not talking about Bijan Ab is because I remember when we played them last year. Now they had Cordell Patterson and they had Tyler Algier, and they were beating us with the running game. But what happened is they tried to put the ball in Mariota's hand. That's why he had the interception that was tipped at the line by Daron Payne, because they stopped running the ball. And I think that's what they're going to do. I think they're going to give Bijan his touches, but they're also going to give touches to Algier, and they're also going to let Ritter do whatever they're going to try to get Ritter to do. So if I know we can only hope to contain him, but I don't know if they're going to give him 30 carries in this ball game just because the last couple of years.
Right.
Yeah. They only give him like something like 10 something, but they also get him in the pass game. And that's where our linebackers and or safeties need to come up and be able to cover and tackle him, because he'll make people look silly in a heartbeat.
What do you think Bijan's going to get 100 yards over us? I really do believe it.
Probably.
I hate to say that, but
all-purpose yards, I do think that.
Yeah,
I do think he gets. Absolutely. I think he gets like 75 on the ground, 75 in the air, and the only reason is because I think they're gonna utilize Algier. That's what they've been doing all year. They've been using both in there, and it's like, you have Bijan. Why are you using this other guy? But that's what they do. So their deficiencies might help us.
Hey, what happened to Mathis? Remember Mathis? Do y'all remember?
Right? He's been injured.
Yeah.
Still. Another second round pick messed up.
Yeah, I remember he came back, but I don't remember seeing him.
He got hurt in the Browns game. He hurt his calf. I don't know what's going on with his rehab.
Okay. Well, I was just saying, man, that's kind of what we need is a nose guard, man. You know, somebody that can stop, this D line, because I really do feel like we're better in the passing attack than the rushing attack. Because Daron Payne and Jonathan Allen, they'll get the sacks, but it's just like they're not very good at stopping the run. You know what I'm saying? I hate to say that, but
they're not run stuffers. They're
not.
They play the gaps and penetrate the gaps.
And that's the only thing that sucks, man. I love them to death. I mean, I love the D line, but it's just they're a little, overrated, I think. Just a little. I hate to say that, but they are. I mean, we should not be getting. I mean, the dude for the Bears, he should not ran up on us. I mean, Swift, he killed us for the Eagles. I mean, It's no excuse, man. With these big names, we should be stopping that. But that's why I feel like Bijan Robinson, he'll probably get close to 100 yards, or maybe even more.
Here's what Ab said: calling a career game. I'm hoping not.
Oh man, don't say that, man.
Yeah. Look, we got to get out of here. Alex, man, we want to say we really appreciate you hopping back in here, talking with us, getting down with us like we used to, man. Appreciate that, dog.
Definitely, man. It was definitely good talking to y'all, man. I hope I can bring my podcast back, man. It's nothing. I still got it. It's just I haven't been on. I've been working. Got a new job and just really, kids. I got 3 boys and wife and stuff, so I really haven't been able to do it, man. But hopefully, man, this winter, man, I'll try to get back in the podcast and talk some football, man, because I love what y'all do. You know what I'm saying? But
bro, you know, I got enough shows to feed everybody. So if you got anytime you want to talk football, you just hit me up and I'll throw you in, man. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yo, appreciate you, my guy. We'll wrap with you, man.
Definitely, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Y'all be safe.
Oh yeah, you too, man. You too.